Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at YNRQ's run through the Twilight Cup tournament that I co-hosted with the Pittsburgh Discord team, so thank you and shout out to Mel Good and the rest of the team there. YRNQ, I'm going to call him Q from now on, that seems what people call him, is running Alolan Muck, Golbat, Tyranitar, Tentacruel, Togekiss, and Toxicroak. The Golbat is purified, so it could be interesting. Running Nova Azumarill is probably the most notable thing in this lineup, and as well, choosing Golbat over Venomoth. He told me he didn't have the Stardust to power up the Venomoth, the Poison Fang Venomoth he recently obtained, but Golbat is a suitable replacement for sure. And then Feng Shui is his second round opponent. He actually didn't provide me the footage for the first round. Is running Clefable, Venomoth, Frostlass, Venusaur, Toxicroak, and Tyranitar. So, as you can see, there are lots of different Pokemon available in the Twilight Cup meta. Let's go ahead and get started. I think they actually take a little while to end up picking the teams, so I'm gonna forward this along a little bit. Take a long while to pick the team. Okay, there you go. So we're locked in. 54 seconds to pick the team. All right, Togekiss, Tentacruel, and I didn't see the other Pokemon, but that's fine. I think it's Alolan Muck. All right, so this opening matchup is interesting. The Sludge Bomb would do a lot of damage. Q doesn't have Aerial Ice, which would have done a ton of damage. Feng Shui decides to switch into Clefable, which is interesting, and Tentacruel is just gonna put in a ton of damage to this Clefable. And funny thing is, I did face a Clefable in my first Twilight Cup tournament. It had Zen Headbutt, which is interesting. All right. And so this matchup is interesting. Both of them doing neutral damage with the charge and fast moves. Gonna Acid Spray, which actually knows doesn't do a ton of damage, but double Acid Spray. These poison jabs are doing neutral because super effective to grass, but resisted by poison. And then the poison resists the grass, but the water is weak to it. So Feng Shui is trying to farm down, but losing a ton of health in the meantime. In this case, Feng Shui should be pretty close to 100 energy. Expect the Sludge Bomb probably because anticipating the Togekiss to come out. And no shield. Sludge Bomb does a decent amount. Frenzy Plant definitely would have did more. And Frostlass decides to come out and play. This Frostlass is able to get to Avalanche quite quickly. I think it's like 6 turns versus Dark Pulse and Acid Spray are 8 turns for the first one. Gonna come with Dark Pulse. Expect Feng Shui to shield. He's 2 shields. Pretty much the last Pokemon. Okay, no shield. Interesting strategy. A shield definitely would have made it interesting. Probably actually would have been able to. Definitely would have been able to win. At least beat the Alolan Muck, and then has a favorable match against Togekiss, but depends on how much health that Frostlass would have left after that matchup. So a little bit of an odd strategy in that particular case. So I actually didn't see the Pokemon that was selected, but it's quite alright. Alright, so again, leading with the same matchup, and he's going to switch out to Frostlass this time, which is interesting. Togekiss is obviously doing a ton of damage to this Frostlass, just putting in a ton of work. Frostlass is a really good option because no No poison moves unless that Toxicroak is carrying a poison move. Yeah, so no poison moves. So those are very safe leads. So really quick, good identification on Q side to pick Togekiss. And then going to switch out to Tentacruel. I expect to switch out on Feng Shui side. No switch out? Wow, okay. Interesting. Shield. You kind of have to shield. But why no switch? He fainted down his first Pokemon, so... Oh, because he switched out to... Oh, yeah. He's probably still switch locked. Yeah. That makes sense. So, I expect no shield from Feng Shui side, but quite dangerous. This is going to be a massive beatdown. Oh, no shield. He has no shields anyway, so it wouldn't really matter, so... I would have been even tempted to shield, but it's such a big advantage at this point in time that this match is pretty much over. Go switch into Togekiss, I guess, just for fun. These charms are going to do a ton of damage. Pretty much just 2 charms and it's GG's there. So, let's move on to round number 3, game number 1, going up against Freezy the Beast from Buffalo, a very tough competitor. Freezy has Venusaur, Venomoth, Azumarill, Drapion, Clefable. So again, second time we're seeing Charm users, and Muck. I'm presuming Poison Jab, Thunder Punch, Dark Pulse, or Acid Spray. So let's see how these two duke it out in terms of this battle. Yeah, Twilight. So many different team composition. Every time I face someone in Twilight, I'm like, every team has a hole. Every team has a weakness. So let's see how these two competitors compete against one another. So they're locked in now. Alolan Muck versus Clefable. So obviously very favorable matchup for Q. I decide to stay in. I'm not sure why these people are choosing to stay in. Gonna come with Golbat. Not running and Clefable should have got and those purified background's actually kind of distracting towards the charge move. So expect the charge move to come out. Oh, he's lagging. Oh, no, he's switching. Switches to Drapion with Bite, I presume, because a ton of damage is being outputted. I expect no shield from Freezy. The purified thing is very distracting. It's very hard to tell what your opponent's fast move is. Still not going to shield. I expect just going to feint it down. And then it's dangerous for Tyranitar. It's dangerous for... I expect Aqua Tail from Freezy. Gonna have to shield. And then probably not enough energy to get stuck in Aqua Tail, but doesn't matter. Just gonna Dark Pulse. Very methodical in that charge move. Ooh. Oh, wow. Gutsy move. Very gutsy move to shield, and especially with Bite being so low energy generation that they're confident that you can get to it. So interesting. Maybe we want to sack. Oh. So it'd be interesting to see if Freezy shields or not. Decides not to shield. Oh, he doesn't have any shields left. Okay, I'm doing a really poor job at tracking Here comes Tyranitar, which resists these poison jabs. Does have to worry about potential charge moves like Thunder Punch. I think it takes like 6 poison jabs to... Oh, Acid Spray. Because it's going to come back in with Clefable. Maybe you should have came with Clefable a little earlier to finish it off. And definitely didn't need to Acid Spray to faint down the... And, well, it worked anyway. So, GG there. Really well played on Freezy side. Good play on Q side, especially coming from such a disadvantageous first matchup. Probably maybe should have Acid Sprayed the Clefable a little sooner to potentially put a little bit more pressure on it. And so let's see how this third round goes. The Purified definitely, I underestimate like how difficult it is to see the rest when with all that, white purification behind it. Let's see what Q decides to do. Might fast forward. Nope. Okay. Okay, decides to go Golbat. Oh, okay. Golbat, Tyranitar, and Tentacruel. Really likes that Tyranitar, probably because of the Venomoth. It does have a lot of checks to Tyranitar though, and again, this is a favorable matchup for Drapion with Bite. We'll see how long Q decides to stay in. He probably looks like he wants to play out this matchup, or we'll see. These Bites are doing a ton of damage. All of Golbat's moves are resisted. Oh, decides to shield. That's a huge shield. And interesting move coming. Going to come Alolan. No, going to come regular Muck. I expect no shield from Freezy side, which is the right identification. Going to be able to get to the poison Thunder Punch before the Acid Spray. Or maybe he doesn't have Thunder Punch. Acid Spray. Maybe he's carrying Acid Spray. If you don't have Thunder Punch, why run? Why run Muck then? Nice shield. Wow. Okay. Ooh. If you're not running no shield, I can't imagine shield coming up. Thunder Punch. Oh wow. Maybe expecting the shield, the Thunder Punch to be shielded. Gonna switch out to Clefable. Gonna switch out to Golbat. These poison gonna build up a little bit of energy. Drapion's still in the back. These Poison Fangs are gonna do a ton of damage to this Clefable. I don't know if this Clefable gets to a charge move. Oh, that's super close. Let's see if this Drapion just decides to faint down this Golbat. That's probably the right move. Oh, wow. Okay. Double feint. Wow, okay. The Tyranitar is so close to a charge move. Sludge Bomb, not Aqua Tail. Wow. Potentially could have got to a second Aqua Tail, but this is going to be GG's right here. So really interesting, Freezy's playing a lot of mind games. Beautiful play on Q side. Nice switches. Good job baiting out that first shield, which was really game changing. Like playing behind in a shield, the rest of the match, Q definitely took advantage of that, and then you saw then just hitting that Stone Edge against Freezy was absolutely huge. I think Freezy got the point there. All right, I'm gonna stop there. Guess Tyranitar gave him the edge. Okay. I'll stop now. All right, so Alolan Muck versus Clefable. They're both doing a ton of damage to each other, but this Acid Spray, which I think Q adjusted to since the first match, is just going to apply a little bit more pressure early on. And then switching out to Tentacruel, hoping to take out this Clefable. And then going to come in with, let's see, he's really debating on what to do. He's really selling the Hydro Pump. And got the shield. Again, up 2 shields to none. I don't even know if you can afford to bait. Doesn't bait, which is doesn't make it still makes a difference because this Tentacruel is way lower in health than it would be otherwise. And this Hydro Pump is absolutely going to decimate that Muck. It shows you like Thunder Punch is still super effective, but a relatively weak move. So I'm going to come with Drapion. I expect the Tyranitar to come out. Tyranitar does have to be careful of these Aqua Tails. But gonna come in and gonna sack the Clefable. I don't think this makes a huge difference though. It's a nice switch though, but it's kind of like a little too late at this point in time, especially up a shield. Yeah, and Bite having like really nice damage output, but like low flexibility, and it's not even able to KO this. And then just gonna soften up this Drapion for the Tyranitar. And it's definitely over. There's no way. And it's GG's there. So really tough matchup. Really well played on Q side. So we're missing game 1 from this 4th round. Going up against trainer. Man, I really should ask to pronounce his name. Rememico? Anyways, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter his name, but I don't know. We're just focused on this particular match. Gonna come with Tentacruel. Caught the Azumarill, which is huge. Tentacruel is the biggest wall to Azumarill in the meta. And gonna come in with Toxicroak, which is interesting. And let's see if the shield bait works. It doesn't, so we're going to switch out to Golbat, another hard counter to... Yeah, another hard counter. So I expect no shield. I expect the Sludge Bomb to come out. Yeah, Golbat plays really well. Wow, coming out with Azumarill. Probably because the Azumarill is going to have such a poor matchup against Tentacruel later. Willing to sacrifice it, but Ice Beam. You can come another Poison Fang. Shields up. It should beat it to the charge move. Gonna build up a little bit of energy. It only takes 5 turns for Golbat to reach it. Gonna switch out to fellow Golbat. Shields up. Oh, try to go for that Shadow Ball. not able to get it. But this is like such a very advantageous matchup for Q. Let's see if he falls for the bait. If he does, that's expect the Shadow Ball to come out. And that's going to do a ton of damage. Again, you need that failed Shadow Ball was huge. You definitely need a shield for let's see. Gonna go for the Shadow Ball. The Shadow Ball and this will GG. Wow. You really need a shield for Tentacruel. Without a shield, as you can see there, it's like becomes like pretty ineffective. Definitely, well, even if he didn't shield, it would have been. He didn't shield, didn't get the Shadow Ball, and then his opponent was able to farm down the opposing Golbat and built up a ton of energy. So that was definitely the turning point in the match. Q had like a pretty big advantage in that matchup. Like 2 hard counters, caught the lead and caught the switch in, but unable to finish off that Golbat. Despite like at that point in time, like up like 2 Pokemon to like half a Pokemon, it was but with a shield still, so with a lot of energy. So okay, they're starting out their match. Alolan Muck versus Alolan Muck. Let's see how these two decide to play it out. Which of them, I expect them to both acid spray each other. Might try something different, but I expect acid sprays. Better to soften up these Alolan Mucks. Dark Pulse would do more damage, but is resisted. Especially early on in the match, the first charge move. You probably want to do acid sprays, and you probably want to go for Dark Pulse. And interesting that he lets his opponent go first. And wow, really big gamble. Decide to gamble and expecting another acid spray. Wow, that's a really big gamble. And good shield on. And oh wow, able to feint down, but has Golbat in the back as a hard counter. It's a risky proposition, especially with Togekiss and Golbat on his opponent's team. Gonna go Sludge Bomb, try to do as much damage as possible. I expect. No, gonna feint down. Doesn't want this Toxtrot to get to another Sludge Bomb, which would KO the Golbat. Or potentially burn a shield. So this Golbat has a ton of energy. And this Drapion, I can't tell if I think the Drapion has Bite. I expect most Drapions to have Bite. Yeah, definitely has Bite, as you can tell. Not able to get the Poison Fang. And then here comes Tentacruel. I don't even know at this you really need to get this acid spray off. But it's kind of like a little too late. Dark Pulse, if you would have landed the Dark Pulse, it might have been game changing, but I don't think it matters. I expect the acid spray. And let's see if it doesn't. You have to shield because you're gonna get fainted. Oh man, no! You have to shield because you're gonna get fainted down anyways. It doesn't matter. You get acid spray the second time. Wow. Wow. Coming down to the wire. If it would have landed that Dark Pulse, it might have like been able to flip the match, but it's like so hard to identify. So risky plays on Q side, but it pays off in big ways. Not shielding that second charge move against the Lone Mog was a pretty big turning point. So going up against easily done. Only gonna be able to see one round because he wasn't able to provide me footage for the other. No, only gonna see one game. Wasn't able to provide me the footage. But as you can see, Q able to read his opponent very well to see when they're baiting, when they're not baiting, and play a lot of really really great mind games. And that's like what allows you to differentiate against other opponents. So Togekiss versus Clefable. So basically, this is like pretty close to a tie. If they decide to one shield, I believe. But this Togekiss is getting annihilated. But able to get off the Ancient Power. And then fated down. What wants to take in? I don't think it's at an Ice Beam quite yet. So I think it's pretty safe. Whatever you're going to come. Oh, actually, it is an Ice Beam. Yeah, that makes sense. 45 energy to 55. Fainted down, yeah. Just barely at an Ice Beam. Gonna faint it down. So now this Lone Mog lost a little bit of health, but slight energy advantage. So gonna come Umbreon. I expect the Acid Spray. I expect no shield from this Umbreon. There's no way you apply shield. Yeah, but you're going to be very careful of the... I expect this to be a last resort. I know, I'm going to see in the comment, King, you're saying, I expect this a million times. Well, this one I'm actually expecting. So, I'm going to switch out to Venomoth. And really, willing to go for that Sludge Bomb. I expect no shields anyways, so... I don't see how you don't shield. Okay, well... Alright, GG. Q ended up winning this match. We're not sure how he ended up winning the match later on, but he did somehow or some way. So let's move on to round number 6, which looks like, according to the videos I'm looking at, will be a really interesting round going up against HR Dina 38, running the double anti-Toxicroak lineup with Venomoth, Golbat, with Toxicroak, Alolan Muck, Tyranitar, and Azumarill. So really protecting the Alolan Muck and Tyranitar with Venomoth and Golbat. Let's see what he decides to run with. Just going to fast forward a little bit. There you go. Okay, now we're locked in. Leading with Tyranitar. Expecting... Tyranitar has like put very positive matchups against Venomoth, Golbat, and Alolan Muck. So caught the Alolan Muck. Has to be really careful with the Toxicroak switch in. Just like 5 counters and it's GG's. And this Alolan Muck is staying in. I'm presuming to hit the Acid Spray. There's no way shield. And I expect to switch in to Toxicroak. No switch. And gonna get hit by this. But he doesn't have Toxicroak in his lineup. Maybe has the double flyers in the back. And Q is expecting that. So switching to Togekiss is crazy. Wow, this is like a really gutsy move. Because even this Acid Spray does a ton of damage. Oh, wow. he has Tentacruel in the back, so he might not shield this. Gonna be willing to let it go down. Now this Azumarill is locked in, and gonna not waste a switch clock, and just gonna leave it locked in. This Tentacruel is just gonna be able to farm down this Azumarill, but does look like he wants to get rid of the Azumarill right away. Doesn't want any damage to his, which makes sense. Could have also farmed it down and then Acid Spray the next Pokemon, because I think he's going to get hit by Charge Move anyways. Would have been better for sure to play rough. Willing to shield to play rough. Maybe because his Tyranitar has almost no health. Or very low health. Not almost no health. It's like at a 40%. Gonna Acid Spray. Only a Alolan Muck in the back. Wants to bait that shield. Didn't get the bait on the shield, but is able to put a lot of pressure on. This will be interesting if he decides to shield. He does decide to shield. That Shadow Ball would have KO'd. Yeah, the Alolan Muck is at very low health. It's going to try to feint down with fast moves, but it's not going to be enough. So really nice pick on Q side. Coming in with Togekiss was a super gutsy move. Something I definitely wouldn't have been able to pull off. And now we're going off into game number 2. And this is like interesting matchup. I think Togekiss slightly edges this out, but he decides to switch out. Switch into Venomoth. Gonna come in with Tyranitar. Oh, whoa, didn't come with Tyranitar. What the heck? Wow. Really? Well, Poison Fang also does more damage. Then, wow. I am slightly mind blown. Maybe expecting more utility out of that Tyranitar later. And doesn't wait at the switch clock either. Gonna have to burn a shield. Wow, okay. Let's see if the Azumarill probably. Yeah, Azumarill. Getting the Stone Edge. No shield. Risky play. Switch out? No switch out. Has to shield. This is going to be close. Let's see, let's count the bubbles. Ooh, this Azumarill is at enough energy. But this Tyranitar is at full health and is going to be able to gonna faint it down. Oh, tie. Wow. Ooh. Let's move on to game number 3. I want to see the next battle. Wow. They legitimately just tied there. Really nice play on Q side to come back from behind, because it was a really tricky situation. If he would have switched into Tyranitar, it would have been a little bit better. For him, he wouldn't have had to expend that first shield with Tyranitar. Well, he might have, but still would have came out with a ton of energy. So this is an interesting matchup. I expect this to be Acid Spray. Can this Togekiss get to Ancient Power? Definitely cannot, but Tyranitar is coming out. Can it get to the Acid Spray? It cannot. So give up Switch Advantage. Azumarill. Gonna play this out, presumably. Gonna hit. Gonna switch. Ooh, beautiful switch on Q side. No need to shield. This is gonna be an Ice Beam. Switches out. Let's see what he has in the back. He has Venomoth. Ooh. Gonna soften up this Venomoth with an Acid Spray. No shields. This is the thing with Twilight. Like, I don't know. Like, you're at 2 shields. Like, what's possibly gonna happen? Silverwind. Is he gonna be able to get to a second Silverwind? Hey, this is GG's. There's it's definitely gonna shield. So if you were gonna do a charge move, it might have been better just to do Crunch. Because like if they don't shield, then there's potential that the damage will go through, and then you could potentially smack down. Right? So, like, that's what I do sometimes. Like, if it's like Azumarill versus Azumarill, like, if you make it seem like you're going to do Ice Beam, they might not shield. When they're really low health, then you might be able to just faint down. So, let's move on to game number 4. This final game in this round 6. These 2 Titans are undefeated. Really nice play on both sides so far. So leading with that Togekiss again, going in that Lowland Muck matchup. We know how it plays out because of the previous round. Let's see if he decides to adapt. Waiting. Nope, doesn't decide to catch it. I expect to switch out. Oh, Dark Pulse. I'm not really sure if Dark Pulse was the right answer, because it doesn't allow the Lone Muck to farm as much, but the Lone Muck has a little bit more energy. Ooh, this is interesting. Let's see if he can get to an Acid Spray. Probably super close. Come in with Venomoth. This is going to be a hugely critical decision to shield or not. Decides not to shield. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. I expect the shield to come up, and then I expect the Lowland Muck just to faint down this Venomoth. That no shield was such a critical decision. Gonna Acid Spray this Azumarill. The thing is, like, you don't want to shield an Acid Spray, but you kind of have to shield an Acid Sprayer because you're down to your last Pokemon, right? Like, yeah, Tentacruel's in the back, so this is like pretty much GG's. There's no way you can feign down this Muck. There's no way. I was like, he might as well just decide to shield and faint down this Azumarill because it's going to take one more bubble, even if it was at 100 energy. Yeah, that was a tough matchup. Okay, now we're moving on to round number 7, going against Toshi, one of my friends from the 100 Mil Club, certainly one of the best PvP players in the entire world. Going Tentacruel versus Quillfish. So, this is like probably a favorable matchup for... They're both doing not very super effective damage, but I think Tentacruel is tankier than Quillfish, so expect no shields on Toshi's side, but this is still going to put a lot of pressure on this Quillfish. This Aqua Tail, this Aqua Tail is going to do a good amount of damage. Aqua Tail, Ice Beam, Sludge Wave, doesn't really matter. Should probably stay in this matchup. Going to double up on this Aqua Tail. I still wouldn't necessarily shield, but unless you have a good counter with no Venomoth, it's certainly a much tougher matchup. Gonna double Acid Spray. Maybe would have saved that Acid Spray. Up a shield, but this Quillfish has a ton of energy. Either of these Pokemon are going to take neutral damage to the Aqua Tail, which is not going to be fun, and you need something that KOs, so maybe go Golbat. You almost have to shield. But you're in really big danger of getting double Aqua Tailed. But able to come out. So this Quillfish was able... Oh man, such a Tyranitar is not a very good situation at all for Q. Let's see if this Tyranitar decides to shield. Doesn't decide to shield. And this Tyranitar has so much energy built up. It's going to be Smackdown or Crunch. So, Crunch. Wow. Toshi. This guy's a monster. Oh, Jesus. That bait was so huge. That Quillfish put a lot of work. I don't even know necessarily what on his team could play Quillfish that well. Quillfish is like a really safe Pokemon, especially when they have no Venomoth. That's like the big disadvantage of having Golbat, no Venomoth. Whew. And Toshi at this point in time is 5-1, and Q is 6-0. So Toshi's trying to go for the upset, creating a potential multiple way tie for first place. Togekiss versus Quillfish. This is not good news for Togekiss, but he doesn't have a switch into for Quillfish. And not able to get to this Ancient Power, which is going to be huge. Yeah, there's no good answer. Like, if you had Tentacruel, he could potentially eat the... But he won't... I don't know if I would have shown... And this Quillfish resists the counters. It's going to be able to get another Aqua Tail off. Wow. Do you shield? You shield. Now you're down 2 shields to 0. But you kind of have to shield. You need this Tyranitar for later. Let's see if the Venomoth comes out or a Azumarill. Yeah, Venomoth. And then switch out to Tyranitar. Wow. Beautiful switch. Beautiful plays. Oh. Acid Spray. Gonna be able to just faint down this Alolan Muck. Gonna shield anyways. Have up 2 shields and none. Why not? And then I would actually, Toshi's in a huge advantage anyways. Stone Edge. You definitely want to build up, but it's pretty much over anyways. Like Mud Bomb, bait the shield. You need to like double Sludge Bomb, but he has a shield available, so it doesn't matter. Gonna shield anyways. Wow. Okay. Really good plays on Q side. Really nice team composition and plays on Toshi's side. Really supporting that Quillfish. but with no Venomoth, it's really tough to play. No Venomoth, no Venusaur. Azumarill is even like an okay play against this Quillfish, because obviously the Aqua Tails, you would have to bait with the Aqua Tail and to get the Sludge Wave, if Toshi's carrying Sludge Wave, which he probably is. So GG's, really impressive run on Q side. A lot of really good matches. As you can see, he really likes to play risky and like read and identify his opponents, like know when they're shield baiting or not, and taking big gambles to win big, and which is really important. Like if you don't take risks, like and especially if your opponent has a better lineup, then you're not going to be able to find a way to win. So again, congrats to Q, HR Dina, easily done, Toshi, and House Stark, all tied 6-1. I see Q faced 2 or 3 of the other first place winners and went 2-1. So really impressive run. Congratulations to him, and really well played. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.